Okay, well, I believe got folks that are signed in, so thank you all of you for participating today in this webinar. I'm going to basically walk you through the enCodePlus cloud-based software and show you all of its features and functionality and how it can work for your jurisdiction. I will show you the front end of the software that we referred to as the user module, which is basically a web page that can be embedded with a link on your own jurisdiction's web page. And the unique thing about this is that you have access and control to the maintenance module, which is password protected, which allows you to maintain or update any official plan or bylaws or any other documents that you have decided to put into this system. I'm going to start this morning or this afternoon by showing you one of your own. This is the city of Clarington. They've been a client of ours for 3 or 4 years now. Just kind of show you this real quickly and then I'll go into the demo. So they have their official plan, their zoning bylaws, and their site plan handbook that have all been included in the software. And when you notice in the upper right-hand corner, you notice several of the icons that show a lot of the different features that they have chosen. So there are up to 20 features that are available to you. They can be selected individually or they can be bundled together. So this is a site, excuse me, if you want to visit this site, just visit the online.encodeplus.com/regs, that's R-E-G-S, and then /Clarington-ON for Ontario. So you'll be able to visit that site. This is our demonstration site. This takes kind of the best of all the different features that we have done across the US and Canada and brings them all together into a single site. This is hosted by Microsoft Azure. It is geographically redundant. We have 99.99% guaranteed uptime, and we also have no less than 6 copies backed up at any one time. So your data is secure, and you can also download it anytime, any day that you choose to. This is fully branded and customized, so we have no 2 sites that are alike. It is entirely built around what your needs are and what your preferences are. You are able to provide us, photographs of your locale. We can put those in, and the design can either be a template design or can be custom designed. You have control over changing the message on here for a welcome message. If you choose, we can also embed a welcome video there. All of the folks that utilize your official plan or bylaws or other documents that you put here that refer to them often, they are able to subscribe securely. And what that does for them is anytime there is a change that is made and it is published out to the official version, this will automatically create an email and send all the subscribers with hyperlinks to every section that is changed. So if you have landowners, builders, developers, design professionals, or even internal departments, courts or legal or somebody of that nature, they can subscribe and they will be notified immediately upon any amendments that are published and posted. So I'll just go into, in this case, zoning, and show you a few things here. A lot of the features here have been automated. When we designed and built this, we wanted to make sure that it didn't require more time for maintenance. We want to make sure that it is time efficient and cost efficient for the users. So all of the table of contents can be embedded at any hierarchy. So at a title, chapter, division, article, whatever that might be. If there is a change or addition, it will automatically update all of these. I'll just choose residential regulations here. So the first thing you'll notice, excuse me, is that this is built with a style sheet. So the style sheet is custom designed, so it can build off of branding guidelines that you might have or any particular color scheme. All of the defined terms are in a pop-up like this. If you have a large definition or perhaps a graphic associated with the definition, you can just click on that and pull it up in a separate box. And you also notice that we can have definitions within definitions as well as hyperlinks. We usually are liberal in cross-referencing documents so that you see all the cross-references, which can be internal to the document or across documents. So if you decide to put in an official plan and put in all municipal bylaws, zoning bylaws, etc., you can link internal or external to any of those, or even out to particular laws. One of the unique things about this is this has been designed to be as user-friendly as possible and help people, whether they are professional or technical users, or if they are novice users, to help them find the information that they're looking for most readily. One of the recent features that we've added is the ability to pull all related provisions together. You notice the RA5 tag here on this page. You can either click on that tag or you can go and pull it down from the top menu. And in this case, it's organized around zoning districts, but it can be really around any subject or topic. So if I click on this RA5, that pulls all provisions throughout one or more documents that relate to that district. So from a land use and zoning perspective, this is highly valuable. If somebody is coming into your location that wants to invest in the community, they can basically click on that and find out everything they need to know about developing within that particular zone. So that's very, very useful. So you notice that this site requirements for residential zones applies to all the different residential districts. So similarly, this section would pull up regardless of the residential district that is chosen. One other thing that's unique about this is that we can easily accommodate tables and graphics. So these are all inline. So this can be exported to Microsoft Word or to PDF with all of the formatting. Tables would break across page breaks, etc., so that you can have this in hand, or anybody can bookmark this, they can download it, they can print it if they want a hard copy if they choose. You notice all the tables can be dynamic, so that can not only be pop-up definitions, but for instance, a land use table can be linked to the zoning district. So when you click on that district, it'll take you to the GIS map. So I will show you an example of that here momentarily. Also, we're able to accommodate graphics, inline graphics. These are all stored in a graphic library. They can set up with a file tree structure. There's a report that will show you all the graphics that you have in your library and whether or not they're placed in the document and where. These are very easy to update or change out. In the maintenance module that I'll show you here momentarily, you simply click on that graphic, delete it, go out to the server, find another graphic and place it. So it's quite simple. So there's no reason why any document, whether that's design guidelines, a form-based code, any sort of zoning bylaw, or whatever that might be, a plan document that can be very much illustrated. We're also able to accommodate unique page layouts. So if we have tables and graphics or something like a form-based code or design code, we're able to accommodate that in this online format. The last thing that I'll show you on this particular view is that we're also able to embed all bylaws, in this case ordinances in the states, with the sections that it amended. So if we click on that, it will actually bring up a copy of the signed bylaw that you can have in here, or you can also have really any other thing that you decide to put in here. So if you have a report for a commission or board or council, you can include that, red line copies, maps, whatever type of exhibits you would like to include can all be attached. These are stored in a library that's internal to the system. It's stored on the cloud, and you can retrieve or research these through ordinance number, bylaw number, by date, or by keyword. Of course, you can search across one document or multiple documents, so you can look at the scope. So if you have multiple sets of bylaws, you have your official plan and you want to link between policies and regulations, you're able to do that. So you can see I can either pull this up by a particular article or section, or I can just type in a word here and look across the entire document. So this will show you every place that the word affordable shows up. We also have the ability to highlight those that are most likely what people are looking for. We call this best bets. So those that are included in this peach colored box here at the top have been assigned by staff to say, anybody that's looking for affordable housing, more than likely these are the most common sections they're looking for. But of course they can see every other section throughout whatever document that they may want to search as well. Archiving is uniquely done. It requires nothing of you. Your typical workflow for processing a change or amendment, text amendment to a document, and then getting that approved and published out. When you publish it, it automatically takes a snapshot of the document before and after it's published. So you can pull up every archive going back in time. So that can be either pulled up by a specific bylaw number, or you can actually go back in time. So for planners, this is hugely helpful. I remember when I was a municipal planner, going and searching through three-ring binders to try to find history on properties from, special or conditional use permits or whatever that might be. So I can actually go back to 2014, say it was, back on June 10th is when a building permit was issued, and I can search the bylaws as of that date. So if somebody comes in at the permit, shows a particular setback, we can go back and say, yep, sure enough, at the time this building was permitted, it met the district standards. They have since been changed. So that is a very useful feature. We're also able to archive retroactively, codify. So we have one client just recently, we went back to the late 90s. We have a client upcoming that we're going back to the mid 80s with their development ordinance and code, and we're bringing that up to date to current. So they will have a full electronic and researchable history of every ordinance or bylaw that has changed since that date. For those people who are not familiar with a bylaw and how it's organized, and they want to just simply search for something or read through a document, we have it set up in this type of e-reader format. So the thing just swipe their finger across a phone screen or flip the pages on a laptop or any other type of dock or handheld device or computer device that they may have. This shows you how we're able to accommodate tables and graphics and unique page layouts for our different clients. One other thing to take note of is that we are also able to do plan documents now. This is a new feature. Let me see if I have it in here. Okay, this is one way of looking at this document where we basically do the same exact thing where we can have a kind of a flipbook format. But even more than that, I will show you a recent example that we have here. This is from Greensboro here in the States in North Carolina, where they provided us a paper copy or a PDF of their plan. And from that, we built this digital plan summary. So it's highly usable, easy for people to navigate. It has videos built in, descriptions of all the different users. They can look at kind of the 6 key ideas or principles of planning in that particular community. So it's very much broken out as an executive summary in a very readable and attractive way. We're also able to include any maps or implementation like you see here. And we can actually add these pulsating points so we're able to draw out certain policies or certain issues. We can even link out to a small area plan or a corridor study or something of that nature. The beauty about this is this requires no web experience. You're able to access this from the back end, the maintenance module, and make all the updates you want to. So there's no reason why you can't regularly amend plan documents as well. We also have tables that are in a quick reference format, so people don't have to try to search through what can be a lengthy document, bylaws, to find certain requirements. We see residential, non-residential standards or parking standards. If the document is updated, these automatically publish out too. So there's no cut, paste, or upload, download, or anything to worry about becoming outdated. We can have quick document links as well, which can be changed at any time. These can be set up by staff, or if you have Google Analytics, you can see how your bylaws or your plan is being used and what sections are being searched most often, and you can use that to set up these quick links, so it can kind of help people jump to the sections. I find a lot of our clients, multiple members of staff have used this for the land use tables or for parking standards or procedures or whatever that might be, that they're into and out of multiple times during the day. That just makes it quick and easy for them to find what they need. We can also have links to other departments or even external agencies that are involved in any aspect of review. And then we also have a library where you can post all of your applications, any applicable plans, development schedules, or any other reports. You can create as many tabs and store as much here as you want. You have up to 1 terabyte of storage, so you can load a lot of information in here. It's kind of a virtual one-stop shop, if you will, for anybody that's coming in to your jurisdiction that is wanting to develop or whatever it is that they may be doing. We have built a series of calculators for quantitative calculations in your bylaws. So really anything can be built. These are custom calibrated and built for your jurisdiction. So here is an example of landscaping and planting requirements, tree replacement or tree preservation. We can look up buffer yard requirements of how many trees and shrubs are required within how wide of a buffer yard between two different districts or between two housing or building types. How many units can be built within a certain district. So it'll actually show you based upon the zoning district and a certain development size and acres that might be in floodplain or vegetated or whatever, show that they can build 141 units, and also show set aside for any parks and recreation land. The same applies for parking, for signage requirements, fee calculators, floor area calculators. So let your mind explore how you can see calculators being of use to yourself as well as your citizens and development applicants. Again, these are all custom designed and calibrated for your jurisdiction. If you have somebody that is interested in investing or building or opening a business in your community, they can say, I'm interested in opening a deli, for instance. In this particular case, a deli is not a word that shows up within this bylaw. It will identify the district categories where that, or the use categories, I'm sorry, where that use might be. It will automatically query and identify all of the districts where that use is permitted or especially permitted. And if you click on this link, it will take you to a map and show you all locations throughout your community where that particular use would be permitted or especially permitted. So this makes use of your own GIS data. There's nothing being recreated. We basically create map services so that we can communicate with your GIS system. You maintain it, you own it, you keep it on your own server, and we just add layers for additional functionality. So if you click on one of these parcels, you can pull up all the information pertaining to that parcel. So any attribute information that you might have, appraiser, assessor information, ownership, parcel information, whether it's in a special district or neighborhood. And a lot of those things can then be hyperlinked as well. So for instance, this particular district is in this RVBD district. We can click on that and it'll take us right to that district and all the regulations. We can also pull up, any particular plan development requirements or any other type of development agreement or whatever that might be. So if I click on the district, it'll take me right to that district and all the standards that apply. And the last thing I'll show you on the front end is just, we're doing 3D now, utilizing Esri's 3D, so we can craft maps, basically building 3D environments, including topography, as well as all the building heights, extruding those to their heights, and then be able to do a lot of the same things that I'm doing here in a 3D environment. This is a large city and consolidated government. One of the unique things that I'll show you here is if you click on a particular parcel, it'll bring up and show whatever information you choose to show. So this will show all of the requirements or standards that are applicable to this property. We can also identify all the folks that are within a certain radius of a property. So identify all those, and this is within 1,250 feet of the parcel boundaries. We can also do a line, a polygon, or actually selecting the parcel. And if you click export, it will basically export that list if it's tied into all the parcel information, ownership information, and then you can mail merge to send out notices. So that is the primary things to show you on the front end of the software. I will now show you some of the maintenance module features. This is basically what you have access to. So you have full password access. You can access this at any time that you want. You can have as many users at no additional charge. So you can have people across departments that are utilizing this. You can simply log in. And just to show you how easy it is to use, you can edit your standards and regulations. It's set up like Microsoft Word, so it doesn't take a lot of training. It's fairly intuitive. You can see here, we can turn on track changes, and we can go about making edits or revisions for any text amendments that we would like. These can be set up so there are different colors for different individuals or different departments. We are also able to provide comments. So if you have a number of different people that are involved in a rewrite or an update, they can select a certain language. They can click on this little bubble. They can put in their name, or actually their name would pop up if they're the ones who have signed in. And they can add a comment if they want to. And it will pop up their comment on the side so anybody can see it. The primary author can then go in and they can reply to that comment, or they can say, we want to click on that and we want to follow up because we need to circle back around and discuss this a little bit more. And you can also click the light bulb here and it will highlight the particular text that they were questioning. So this can be used for drafting plans, amending bylaws, or any other type of document that you may be working with. As I mentioned earlier, changing out graphics is simple. We can delete them. We can click on this button and we can go out and browse the server. It will show all the graphics that you may have included on your server. You can simply double click on one of those and say okay, and there's our new graphic. So these are very easy to pull out, to update, and to insert back into the document. So you can see all the tables are very easy to insert another row and click and type. And so very, very user friendly. Another important thing is the ability to save all of the versions. So if you have the official version that's been published out and somebody comes in and makes a change, it will show you every time that it has been published or that there has been a person that has clicked save. So we can see any one of those, or we can revert back. So if I want to say this section, I want to revert back to the last official time that it was published, I can simply say revert. It gets rid of all those changes. It takes us right back to the official copy. There is also the ability to publish directly yourself if you're comfortable doing that, or we can do that to assist you or to provide consulting for you. So it'll show all the sections that have been edited. You can change all of the effective dates. And then when you are ready, you can publish them. It'll show all the bylaws that have previously affected that section. You can add any notes and you click publish and it is straight to the web updated. You can also look at all the comments and responses in a report. You can export these and share them with a staff group or committee or commission or board as well if you're undertaking either a minor or even a major update or rewrite or drafting a new document. So that is as easy as it is to utilize this to build a new document or to edit an updated document. As I said, you can have as many users as you want to. We provide all the training. You can access it at any time. And we also have different permissions and authorities. So we can set up who has access to do what. So you might be somebody that's only able to comment or you're able to draft, or you might have one or two persons in the organization that are able to actually publish the official copy of the document. The way this works is that we simply get any photographs, logos, branding, guidelines. We design and build the site either using a template or by custom design, get that approved, and then we migrate the documents that are provided to us, preferably in Microsoft Word, but they can come to us in InDesign or PDF as well. We migrate those into the HTML format, and we set up all the functionality, including all of the hyperlinks, pop-up definitions, inserting tables. It's important to note also that this meets the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. I understand that that is a provincial law now across Canada, so that this will fulfill those requirements. There is a one-time build fee for custom designing and populating or migrating all the content in. And then there is an annual license and maintenance fee that really depends upon the size of the jurisdiction as well as the number of features that you choose. As I said, there are up to 20 different upgrade features that you can choose. You can pick and choose those that fit you the best, or we can bundle them together and provide either 15 or 20% discounts. Usually it can take anywhere from 30 to 45 to 60 days, depending upon how much we're building, how many features are being added, and the response time of working back and forth with your staff. So with that, I should note that the chat feature is working. So if you want to chat any questions that you have, happy to respond to those. And we will be sending this video out to you afterwards. So if you want to share it with anybody, or if you want to schedule time to talk about this further, talk about how it might apply to your bylaws or your plans, we'd be happy to provide that information to you. Let me look here at the chats. One of the first questions that we have here is whether or not, or whether this can be used for generally any type of document. Is it best used or primarily used just for bylaws? No, it is not. We have governing body policies. We have engineering standards. We have done design guidelines, design standards. Really, any document can be migrated into this. The nice thing about this is that they're always stored in the web or in the cloud. They're always accessible to you, and you can update and amend them anytime you want to. We've also brought in, development agreements or PD agreements or something of that nature so that you can keep those and they can be updated over time as well. A little more about one of the questions is which of the features that you've showed us are upgrades. So the basic package basically includes the whole site design, bringing all the content in, setting up all the functionality, all the hyperlinks, all the pop-up definitions, building tables, making it handicap accessible. The only things that are upgrades would be including any of the GIS features or real estate research features. The calculators are upgrade features, as is the e-reader feature. So you can pick and choose, as I said, any of those. The cost of those is pretty much standard. If there is a new calculator you'd like to build or something that requires a lot of complexity and sophistication that might cost a little bit more, but generally they run, in a $2,500 range for custom building a calculator. They can then be updated with the hours that you have included with your license that would come at no additional charge. Another question that I have here is, what is the term of these agreements? Generally, obviously for the first year, and we usually set up 5-year time periods so that the costs are locked in, and then it's automatically renewable thereafter unless it's canceled. So it's very rare that we have clients that cancel. Instead, we have them adding additional documents and adding additional features all the time. So we provide all the support. So you can call us, you can email us. We will either give you advice or explanation, or we can actually help you in making any changes that you have yourself. So I see that is the questions that I have. If there are any other questions, please type them in. I'll be happy to respond to them. Otherwise, again, thank you to all of you for taking time out of your schedule. I hope you found this beneficial and educational, and I hope you see the value and the benefit that this can provide to your jurisdiction. Thank you all very much for your time. If you reach out to us, we'd be happy to schedule any time or even a demonstration to talk further about how this could apply to your community. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.